Hey, Coach Miller here with BTB Lax. I'm in the studio and just broke down the recent UVA Richmond lacrosse game this past weekend, and some things really popped out. First and foremost, Jack Boyden, the transfer from Tufts, where I played back in the day, and he's making a big impact on UVA. So let's take a look at some highlights. Here are some highlights from Jack's senior year last year. He transferred to UVA after he graduated from Tufts. They were undefeated going into the championship game. They played Salisbury. He had 1,000,000 points last year. He had 157 total points with 88 assists. He did everything. He won every award. He was a first-team All-American for Division III. And he actually, when you look at his career, you can kind of see he made a lot of growth. Like this freshman year was a shortened COVID season. His sophomore year, he only had, I think, 11 goals and 3 assists. He was an honorable mention All-American in 2022, which is kind of surprising because he had 133 points. But then his senior year, he exploded. Like I said, he won every award, scored a ton of points, had a ton of assists, and then took his talents to UVA after the season. And then he's had 5 points in his opener against Michigan, and he had 5 points again in his game against Richmond. So just to take a quick look here at the UVA website, we see Jack's profile. Lars Tiffany, the head coach of UVA, says, Jack has the flair for the dramatic. He plays an aggressive style, he hunts the ball, and he pushes boundaries. And he learned some of that at his Tufts years, so that's pretty cool to see. All right, so what I want to do now is take a look at some clips from the UVA Richmond game. We're going to focus on Boyden to start, see some of the impact that he made early on in the game. All right, here we have a 3-3 ball game. UVA subbing, getting their offensive personnel on the field. Jack Boyden's playing the first midfield line. And when not much really happens here, see, just a little dummy dodge down the side, a little pop out there, and just a basic move. Even right here, if I'm coaching the Richmond defense, I mean, he doesn't really look like he's going to be much of a threat to shoot there, but we see a hedge right here, but then Jack curls up into the space, and he's got a few bit of different options here. He's at 15 yards, a lot of space which he can step and shoot. And the one thing I notice about Jack is he's always looking to pass first. That's the reason why he had 88 assists his senior year. Dom Starja, the color announcement of the game, was talking about that throughout the game. And here you can see he could have easily shot it, but instead he gets that feed right down. All those defenders are collapsing on him, and he gets that feed to the layup for an awesome assist. Hey, quick interruption. If you want a free 3-part training series on all the mechanics of shooting, simply click the link right below in the description of this video. I got my good friend Scott Urich to walk you through his shooting system. Scott was an All-American at Georgetown University. He played on Team USA. He is currently the head coach at Georgetown Prep in Bethesda, Maryland. Prep is always a top high school team in the country, and they have a ton of current alumni playing college lacrosse. Scott really knows the art of shooting, so go ahead and check it out. All right, let's get back to it. We have a little 2-man game here on the wing. We have Jack up top. So Jack is playing on the first midfield line. At Tufts, he was an attackman, so he's been going against a lot of shorties, which has been very beneficial to him. It's probably unbelievable. Plus, he's got a ton of talent around him, so he can feed at ease, and he knows that the guys he's feeding to have the ability to score at pretty much any time. But here you can see the Richmond defenders barely even guarding Jack. Here you can see they cause a little bit of commotion there with the pick. And as that, Jack just cuts down into space and gets an easy shot and a goal to put Virginia up 5-3. Ball loaded, and he has a quick release for a shot and a goal. All right, next what I want to point out is what Dom pointed out during the commentary as well. Jack has never went against a short stick in Division III against Tufts, and now he's got the luxury of going against the short sticks all the time, which they might have to change if you're going to have 5 points every game. So there is just a sustained dodge. He doesn't score here, but just you can kind of see his little Canadian. He is from Canada. His Canadian style across the top shot. That actually is a pretty good save there. That gets a goalie's shoulder. Just shows you the crafty ways that he can go about scoring and shooting. The next thing I want to talk about is Payton Cormier, the attackman for Virginia, who set the all-time goal-scoring record during this game. Let's take a look here. Here's his profile on the UVA website. He's a big guy, and Dom was talking about this throughout the game. He's 6'2", 230 pounds. He's also from Canada, and he's played at Virginia for a long time. So he started there in 2019. He missed that entire year with an injury, and then played 2020, 2021, 22, 23, and 24. Last year, he was a third-team All-American. Last year, he scored 52 goals, and this year, he is a preseason third-team All-American. UVA, I mean, all college teams play a lot of two-man game there with the picks, and I love this little shuffle pass back. We saw that last week in the Army-UMass game as well, catching that loaded, scoring. I also want to talk about the fourth goal for Richmond here. You can kind of see a little two-man game action. And Dom made a really good point. He's talking about how these attackmen need to try to get inside. So basically what they're trying to do is get in there. Stay out of the crease, obviously, but push the defender to get inside. And there you can see he did a great job of staying out of the crease. Look at that footwork for an awesome goal. 6-4. All right, we're going to dive into the second half here. You're going to see up here some exchange or some fake exchange going on here with the ball. Causes some confusion. We got a little hidden ball trick. And I'm just going to pause it here. So that's our boy, Jack Boyden, the Tufts guy. Tufts transfer. But the ball is really over here. So you're going to see all the heads look this way, including the goalie. And then once that happens, you're going to see a 30-yard goal to get them on the board early. Pretty crafty play there by UVA coming out of the half. So here we're going to take a look at a big bull dodge by Cormier. You can see he's a big lefty. He just got the ball right there. He's going to swing to his left. And he just lowers his shoulder and gets his shots off. I mean, he's just a big, big guy. And there he almost scores. It's just wide. I mean, he's just going through like the whole team. It's hard to get the ball off his stick. He's so big. And this is that same possession. They maintain possession out of bounds. UVA's just working. Nice little cut there. You can see this always active on the crease. These guys are always active on the crease with their stick heads high to give a little target and just a quick release. You can see that for you young shooters out there. Catch, shoot, no wasted movement, goal. All right, here we got a man out for UVA. And we have a goal by who other than Jack Boyden. He had a big day, another 5 points. You can see here what Richmond doing is they're shutting off Cormier with a short stick. So basically UVA is playing 5-on-4 offensively. And you'll see they'll get this skip pass right there to the doorstep, catch and shoot. UVA players are so good at catching with their stick head high, catch, shoot, boom. He doesn't even cradle it. Catch, shoot, all in one motion. Catch, shoot, goal. Next up, going to show you Cormier breaking the record. Doug Knight got a feed from Schellenberger. Just that skip pass across the top, catching it lefty, boom, shoot. And that breaks the record for him. He's a big guy. Look at that guy's size. I mean, just hard to stop. All right, we got 11-9 UVA. Just to start the fourth quarter here. Cormier is going to come up with another goal. You can see they just caused all this commotion here in the middle, causing a lot of, confusion for the Richmond defense, and he just pops off. So you got two of these UVA guys right here on the crease. Cormier pops up, and you know this guy's going to curl around, look for that pass. He's got a stick head, and that pass wasn't even. He caught that pass kind of handcuffed a little bit, but he caught it, brought it back, shot, boom. Such good releases. Gives them a 3-goal cushion. All right, so next is always up, and he's always looking to feed first. And there he's got that little pass over the top to the inside of the crease for a goal. I mean, that's just so hard to defend, especially when he's being guarded by a short stick. as opposed to that longer stick being on his hands a little bit more. We'll take another look at it. He's got his head up. And here it kind of even looks like his gaze might be, over there to kind of look off this defenseman. He's got that Canadian, lacrosse in him. And that's just a goal. Puts him up 3 again. All right, so last clip here. I just want to look at Jack one more time. So Richmond's trying to get the ball back. Boyden's still being guarded by a short stick, and you can see they're trying to shut off, and that's just a great play. A lot of times when teams are trying to get the ball back late in the game, they're going to be shutting off, closing off those adjacent passes, and here they do exactly that, and this UVA backdoor cuts, and Boyden, like we've talked about, his head always up, sees the cut, hits him in stride for a goal. And you notice here it's a perfect pass, and he got a lot of heat on that shot too, and just a hard overhand shot for a heartbreaking, goal to put them up 4 and essentially seal the game. All right, so there you have it. Took a look at the UVA Richmond game. Wanted to dive in some of the storylines there, and the biggest storyline was Jack Boyden from Tufts. And I'm biased because I went to Tufts back in the day, so definitely will be following him throughout the year. If you guys like these types of videos, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. And also in the description of this video, you can pick up my 3-part shooting training to get yourself more dialed in on the field to put more balls in the back of the net. Talk soon, Coach Miller.